Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the alpha of them all? King Charles. Now, there's a chance you haven't heard that before. Yeah, you're probably scratching their head right now, but you need to get to know this name, and you need to know it real quick before the dog walks into frame, because he's a real dangerous individual. Now, if you are brain rotted like everyone else on the planet, you've probably been on Instagram Reels or TikTok or maybe even YouTube Shorts, and have heard about a dog rescue center where there is this one dog and he is just the alpha of them all. Like, I know in wolf packs out in nature and whatnot there is always an alpha dog, but this fella right here, he's on a different level, man. Like, he is truly unmatchable. Every single dog in this pen is terrified of him, and honestly I don't really know why, because it's not like this guy's some wham dog and he's bigger than all the other ones. He's a normal sized dog. Like, there's really nothing unique about him. I mean, that is some serious mafia kind of stuff. Even that massive black dog that could easily tear this other dog apart, he was terrified. He instantly dropped down to the floor, showing like, hey dude, I'm not here for any jim yam jamming, I'm trying to relax, okay? And then as soon as the dog came over to the fight, oh my gosh, they slithered away like 8th graders that aren't meant to be fighting. Like, that was some seriously impressive stuff. And I did do a little bit of lore digging behind this fella, and all I could really find was the alpha dog, which goes by the name of King Charles, which I think is quite fitting for him, especially the name Charlie. We know people named Charlie are usually kings. And ever since he stepped foot onto those battlegrounds at 3 months old, the more fights he had, the more power levels he got. It's like Rise of Kingdoms. And eventually he ended up fighting the other king dog, who he somehow defeated, and ever since then, yeah, man, the whole town has been whimpering whenever he walks by them. And it's not just this one instance. There are so many clips of King Charles stepping in the room and instantly being the Sigma dog. And it's so impressive. Like, I know the animal kingdom is kind of a kingdom that we don't fully understand, but I really can't wrap my head around how powerful this dog is. I mean, we're watching a real life Lion King right here. There's like that Mufasa scene, he's got his hand on his neck. This is really intense stuff. Like, the dog literally trots over, there's a fight going on, and then before you know it, the fight is cleared out. I don't even see any dogs around King Charles at the moment, besides the dog that he's absolutely dominating right now. And just in case you don't have any dogs and you're not too aware of like the dog psychology and how things work, if a dog rolls on its back or if it goes lower down than another dog, that's it submitting. So every single time King Charles walks past a dog, they will always go a little bit lower than him to show respect. And at the moment, people are going absolutely crazy over this fella. And honestly, I can't blame him. Like, I've seen a couple edits on TikTok. Obviously, I can't play them because of copyright music. Yeah, I know, boo, shoot rotten tomatoes at me. However, this dog is taking not only the dog world by storm, but the human world. And I think if we're not careful, he might end up reign of all terror over the human world. Now, something I do want to note on is King Charles is absolutely ruthless. He does not play about when it comes to another dog misbehaving, because whether they're licking the concrete wrong or if they're eating their food wrong, King Charles will always tell them, hey Buster, you're on the wrong side of town. And almost every single time the dog will submit. There have been the odd occasions where another dog will fight back, but it usually doesn't last very long because King Charles, as you just saw, will always put them down into the dirt. Like that one right there, didn't even try and compete. There's no point. King Charles will always tear your face off. And I think this is a prime scenario of King Charles having more testosterone than the other dogs, like if we are really breaking down the anatomy of it. And not only that, King Charles just already showing his dominance. Like, if another dog around the lot just started doing the same thing, I think they see very similar respect outside of when it comes down to King Charles, and then there might be a bit of a scrap going on in the graveyard. And I do also now have a little interesting clip of the dogs eating, because if you do have a dog, you probably know they like to sometimes eat out of each other's bowls, and most of the time they will share. They might get told off every now and then, but right here we've probably got about 10 or 15 dogs all in the same pen, and King Charles has his own food to eat. Now, as we can see, we've got the ground setting already. two dogs, they're fighting, there's a bit of an argument, and then King Charles walks into the scene and he is not playing any games whatsoever. He wants that slop in that bowl and he's not playing about. And I think this does really show how dominant King Charles is. Like, I know this is a massive joke, but if we are breaking this down and using this as a good example to evaluate the animal kingdom, you can see how much respect these other dogs hold for King Charles, because it is very, very rare for dogs to back away from food, because most of the time dogs are very greedy. If you've ever had a dog, if you've ever got a friend that has a dog, you'll know that dog will do pretty much anything for food and they will always try and eat it. So to know that a dog is backing away from its own meal to give it to another dog, that's a different level of divine respect. I love how all of the other dogs are also keeping their distance as well. Like, they know, do not mess with King Charles. This guy's a true menace to society. He's not playing about. Or is he hit you with a little sucker punch and then he'll bite you? But yeah, man, I just wanted to ramble on about this a little bit because it is really funny. Like, I've never really seen dogs in a setting like that. Like, sure, I've been to a couple countries where there are stray dogs and you do see very similar things. Like, I do have a dog and he's actually a stray. We rescued him off the street. And I did see scenarios where he'd kind of roll on his back for other dogs when he was a stray. But I've never seen anything quite like this, and I suppose it's a very similar setting to what you kind of get in prison as well. Like, I know I'm just going off of movies because I've never actually been to prison, never been caught for my crimes or all, but you'll always get an alpha in there and you know not to mess with him because he's got so many connections or so much power. And it's just the exact same thing in the animal kingdom. It is quite funny how closely related we are to these dogs, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.